stacked bar graph. So you might worked on bar graph and stacked bar graph. You worked on it? Yes. So here, as a part of that, as a bar graph, so you did the horizontal bar graph, vertical bar graph, and stacked bar graph. The concept was completed in the last session. And I'll want to continue another part of the graph I want to start with something like this. So next bar graph today I want to start with histogram. Spell out histogram. So Amit, is screen sharing? Already I shared, my dear student. Screen was already shared. Okay. So now I'm talking about histogram. Spell out. What is the hist? What is the hist? Come on. History. Good. You're good. Hist means what? Hmm. Histogram. Histogram. This is called histogram. So hist means what? History. Spell out history. Now I'm taking something like this. Now I'm taking something like this. Some data is equal to, now I'm taking some samples of data. Samples of data. Example, in a text format, if you take it, they are giving something like this. The people who are in, the people who are in 120, the people who are secured, the people who are secured between 20 to 30 marks, the people who secured, who secured, who secured JEE main percentile, JEE main percentile between 50 to 60, between 50 to 60, between 15 to 60, between 15 to 50 to 60, between 15 to 50 to 60 is is some 40 members. The people who secured, the people who secured between 61 to what? 61 to 80, 61 to 80, 80 or around 60, 60. The people who secured 81 to what? 81 to 90, 81 to 90 is almost 80. The people who secured 91 to what? 91 to what? 99, 99 is almost 80, is almost 90. The people who secured 100 out of 100, people who secured 100 out of 100 is almost 20, is almost 35, for example. This is called what? Histogram, history of the people who appeared for JEE mains. So what are the time slots here? What are the slots here? Between 250 to 60 this much, 61 to 80 this much. Histogram is called one type of bar graph only, students. Histogram is called one type of bar graph only. What is the difference between histogram and bar graph? Bar graph will have the gap in the bars, and histogram will be containing continuous values will be shown. Like this is one small thing. So 0 to 40, 0 to 40, and next is 40 to 50, and 50 to 60, and 60 to 80, 70, and 70 to 80. Like that, if you take it, this is my graph. If I take it 0 to 40, 0 to 40, this is shown, this is shown, and immediately this is immediately continued without any gaps. This is 50, and if this 50 to 60, it is shown like that. There is no gap will be shown, students. It will be shown something like this. This indicates one bin. Spell out bin. These people are, how many people are available? 0 to 40 ratio, 50 to 40 to 50 ratio. This is another bin, and this is a 50 to 60 is an another bin. Each bar is going to be called as what here? Bin. Bin. So I'm going to take up one more here. For example, it is a diagram like this, and this is a graph, and the histogram will be shown something like this. For example, if you look at histogram is showing something like this. If you watch it, what did you understand about this? 0 to 40 and 40 to 50, 40 to 50 and 50 to 60 and 60 to 70. What is this portion, ma? What is this portion is called? 0 to 40, these many people are there. 40 to 50, these many number of people are there. 50 to 60, these many people are there. 60 to 70, these many people are there. This is just showing the frequency distribution of the values. So histogram is something like what graph? One kind of bar graph. So this histogram, I am going to show lots of examples here. And each this data which is available here, if I see the diagram now, you will get clarity. That's why I'm Matplotlib specially I'm explaining. By seeing the documentation, I'm explaining so that you will get the picture of it. Because any type of graph, if I explain with a text, you can't get it. If I show the picture and if I explain, you will get clarity. Are you getting me? So one more time, number of intelligent students, number of average intelligent students, number of poor intelligence, number of extreme intelligence. If I want to show, I will go for either a bar graph or I'll go for histogram. I can show history of intelligence, history of below intelligence, history of poor intelligence, history of what? Extreme intelligence. If I want to show such history, I will go for which type of diagram? So histogram will contain one more kind of text. 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, and then 55, and then 38, and then 48, and then 44, 66, 77, 88, and 60, 65, and 64, and 84, and 85, 90, 92, and then 100, and then 30, 48, or 42, and 32, like that, 62, and 71, like this. Now here, this is my samples. I want to draw the histogram here. How to prepare the histogram for this data? You just look at. I will observe my data. What is happening here? What is happening? What is the minimum value starting from 10? 10. I decided to prepare one bin. Bin. Do you know bin? What is the Telugu meaning of bin? What is the English meaning of bin? Bag. Baga. So it is like a bag. Bin is something like what? A place where you can store something. It's called what? Bin. So 10 to 30, 10 to 30, it is one bin. All values I will keep there. Understand? And 30 to what? 40. 30 to 50, I will take one more bin. And next is called 50 to 70, I will take one more bin. And the next is 70 to 90, one more bin. 90 to 100, one more bin. These are all called what? Interval, right or not? Interval. So how many values are there between 10 to 30? How many values are there? Identify. 10 to 20, how many values? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Any more values? Any more values here? No. How many values there? In that bin, how many history will be shown? 3. Next, I'll go for what? 31 to what? Next, 50. 31 to 50. How many are there? 31. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. What is the next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Anywhere else? 5. 5, 6, 7, 7. 7 values are available. That is the second bin contains how many values? 7. Next is called 50 to 51 to what? 70. 51 to 70. This is included, this is excluded. Included will be shown this bracket, excluded will be shown this bracket. A lot of examples will be coming on that. What is the next 51 to 70? Here already completed 55, 1. And next is called what? 2. And then 2. And then next is what? 3, 4, 4. And next is what? 5. And then what? 5. This is how many values are there? 5. 5. Next is called what? 71 to what? 71 to what? 90. 90, if I take it. 71. You take care, trace it. 77, 1. And next is called what? 71. This is 2. How many values? 2. 2 or 3? 3 or 4? 71. 1 minute. If you hold on, I will take it. Number 1. Number 1. Next is what? 80, 84, 85. Okay. 3, 4, 4, and then 5. How many? 5. Next, 91 to what? 100. 91 to what? 100. What is the next? 91. Where is the 91 here? 92. And then what? 100. How many? 2. This is also called one histogram. So here I will take it in this place 10 to 20, 10 to 30, one stick, one X stick. Next is what? 31 to 50, one more X stick. And 51 to what? 70, one more X stick. Like that, I will take X ticks. Are you following? Here I will mention the histogram for this now. I'll mention the histogram for this entire data. So like that, I'm going to show some samples of data. Are you understanding when to go for history or history of the data? So here another one. In a large samples, I'm having lot of fruits are there. Mango fruits how many? Kiwi fruits how many? Strawberries are how many? I'll go for mentioning the diagram called histogram. So let me go to the histogram here. I'll be showing that. Try to follow. So I'll take a try to follow. So I want to explain through a documentation and try to follow first of all. Introduction to histogram first I want to tell you. Let us start the histogram. And here number of bins which are available. Bins means what? Showing the values. By default, how many bins will come? 10 will come. And you can mention your own number of bins also. Lot of discussion will be there. Try to follow carefully. Read out all of you. A histogram is a graphical representation of grouped frequency distribution. That means between 10 to 20, how many values are there? Between 10 to 30, how many values are there? There is a frequency, grouped frequency distribution with continuous classes. 10 to 30, 31 to 50, 51 to 70, 71 to 90, 91 to 100. Continuous classes. It is an area diagram and it can be defined as a set of rectangles with a basis along with intervals between class boundaries. Class boundaries is nothing but you already know. One included, one excluded, one included, one excluded. With areas proportional to the frequencies in the corresponding classes. That I'll show you with the diagrams. In such representations, all rectangles are adjacent since base covers the intervals between the class boundaries. After seeing the diagram, you will understand this part here onwards. A histogram is a graph which is showing frequency distributions. Between 10 to 30, how many? Between 31 to 50, how many? Those things. It is a graph showing the number of observations with each given interval. Between 10 to 30, how many are there? Between 31 to 50, how many are there? Between the intervals, how many observations are there? I'm showing. In other words, a histogram is a graph diagram involving rectangles whose area proportional to the frequency of variable. This also will show you with the diagram. Width and width equal to the class interval. Take an example, students. Student marks. Student secured marks. Student secured marks 90, 50, 40, 60, 55, 44, 30, 10, 34, 84. What is the meaning of that? Marks interval they are giving. Marks interval. Ante between 0 to 35, some group of people got some marks. Between 35 to 75, some people got it. This is an intervals I am talking about. 0 to 35, how many? 35 to 75, how many? 75 to 100, how many? What type of histogram will be shown? Now I am going to write it. Student marks are this one, And marks intervals I am going to give you. 0 to 35, how many? 0 to 35, how many? Here, 0 to 35. What is this? 30, 10, 34. How many? 3. Between 35 to 75, how many? 35 in the sense 0 to 34 only will be taken. 35 to 75 will be taken. 35 to 75. How many? So 1 is called what? 35. 50, 40, 60, 55. 44. That will be how many? 5. Next between 75 to 100. So it is going to be 90 and then what? 84. So what is the function for drawing the bar graph? PLT dot bar off. How do you write the horizontal bar graph? Bar H. Today, histogram I want to write it. What is the function name? Hist. Come on, already you know, simple. PLT dot hist of. Student marks versus what? Interval. Interval. I just want to go for it. Intervals I want to go for it. Just I will show you that. And here, this one I am going to show you. Let us coming to the point of this. I want to show you that. That you keep it aside. One more kind of thing I am writing. Here I am going to write it. While you are going to write this histogram, you are using the function called hister. There are three types of histograms will be there. The three types of histograms will be there. One is called what? One is called what? Bar histogram. Spell out bar histogram. One more is called what? Step histogram. Step histogram. One more is called what? Step filled histogram. Step filled. Come on. Step filled. So bar histogram, step filled, and then step. How it is showing? One by one, I will show you. Carefully try to follow. The student marks once again. I am giving this now. And list of it. Student marks, comma, marks interval I am showing. Marks interval I am showing. Here I am writing X ticks and I am writing X label and the Y label and I am showing these are all not new for you. It is always general for you. Let me go to the example. Let me go to this example. Go to the Jupyter notebook. These are all graphs are dead easy, not a difficult. And no much programming is involving here. That functions, plot of, bar of, bar h of. Next is called what? Hist of. Very easy to remember. So examples on which graph? Histogram. Histogram. So here I'll be starting with. So here I will say from from what? Matplotlib. Matplotlib import pyplot as what? PLT. PLT. Just try to see that. So you are going to get it. Carefully try to observe more. Here what is happening? Carefully try to observe. Between 0 to 35, how many? How many? Already you measured or not? How many? So number one is called 30, 10, 34. You observe it 0 to equal student. 0 to is it 3 are coming or not? This is from where 0, 20. Almost you look at this side. It is marking. This is 20 to 40. 20 to 40 means there is a difference of 20. This is exactly indicated as what? 35. 35. So if you don't get the clarity of it, next I will tell the ticks I will tell you. Ticks. This is going to be called what? How many are there here? 3. This is called what? Rectangle continuous area. Between 0 to 20, 35. How many are there? 3. This is called interval and this is a number of observations found in that. Next is called what? 35 to 75. How many? 5. 35 to 75. Here always already it is there 5. 5 is here. From where it is taking? From where it is taking 36 exactly. 36 onwards it is taking. So where it is taking? 75. 75 it is taking. Next 75 to what? Next 100. 75 to 100 means what? You can take how many are there? 2. You observe it more 2. This is called 2. Are you seeing this 2? This is from here onwards. 75 to 100. This is going to be shown something like this. Are you able to follow? And this is comes under what? A simple histogram is written. Marks versus, and then what? Their intervals. Between 0 to 35, how many observations falling? Between 35 to 75, how many observations falling? Between 75 to 100, how many observations falling? There is one more thing. For more clarity is concerned, here the same thing is concerned. I am giving conducts, x tilts, 0 to 35, all these things. Marks interval also I am giving, and a number of students Y label also I am going to give you. Y label also I am going to give you. See the next moment of it, the same observations is not the same. I am specifically setting the six I am telling. X label is student interval and Y label is number of students. If I just look into that, observe it here, 0 to 35 exactly mentioned under, and 0 to 35 exactly how many? 0 to 35 how many exactly? 3. This is 3. And from 25 to 35 means 36. It is a continuous diagram. From 35 to 75 is called 36 to 75 is how many? 5. This is already mentioning here. 5. Next, between you know 76 to 100. You see, mom, 76 to 100 is a continuous area. This is area. How many are there? 2 are there. X student marks. Then number of students. This is called what I mentioned that the tick labels also I mentioned it. Are you able to follow? Now go to the place one more time. We have different type of histograms. What are the first one? For step field. Specify the histogram by using which type of argument. Is type argument. How do you write it? PLE dot is the student marks, comma, marks interval. Now extra attribute is coming. History type is equal to what? Bar. History type is equal to bar. And whenever I specify the history type, you are going to get what? R width. That is the width of that you need to take it. And face color is equal to red. And if I show, then you will understand the meaning of it. If we specify bar type, then we can specify the R width. That the pin width you can mention it. Same example I will carry. And I will mention here what statement. Go to the place. Here I am mentioning the extra attribute called what? The same thing I will carry this statement. In place of this system, I'm mentioning like this. History type is equal to bar. So that time you try to see students, you are going to get the width between these two things. And whenever I mention this is called what? Strictly bar. So histogram is called one type of bar graph only. You see students, when you observe it, 0 to 35. What is that now? 3. 75, 35, 36 to 75. How many are there? 5. And next 75 to 100. What is there? Some more students who are available here. This is called something like a histogram is something like a bar graph. Now you can mention it one more kind of thing as what here. One more type you can mention it as what? Step. Step I am mentioning. Step. When I mention the step, you see the diagram now. Not filled with any color. Not filled with any color. Just something like a continuous diagram it is shown. It is called which type of step or histogram? Step. Now I am going to take it one more kind of histogram that is called what? Step filled. Step filled. When you mention step and step filled, what is not necessary? This width is not necessary. Even previously also this width is not necessary. Whenever you specify other than this bar, step and step field is of no meaning of mentioning that. I think you are coming to what? Step field. Some value step field is coming. So R width is not necessary here. Even if we mention R width also, there is no meaning of it. Even if you mention here 0.7 is of no meaning. Is of no meaning. So, I mean, what is this? Comma. So you try to see that there is no meaning here. So bar graph only you need to have the meaning of mentioning what? R width. Rest of the cases there is no meaning of writing which kind of thing. R width there is no meaning of it. I think you are following me. How many types of histograms are there? So if number of observations are that many, that much of history will be shown. If other kind of interval, okay, how many values? That many values are showing to you. And one more problem you observe it. Observe the following problem. The following table gives lifetime of 400 neon lamps. Draw the histogram for the below table. What is this now? Lifetime in hours, 14 lamps. Come on. 300 to 400. How many lamps? This is the I am giving like 0 to 35 as we are mentioning or not. Like that I am giving what? 300 to 400. How many lamps? 400 to 500, 400 to 500, how many? 56. 500 to 600, 1600 to this intervals, these many number of values are given. So here, like when you take this data, 0 to 35, how many are giving? 3. 36 to 75, how many are giving? 5. From 76 to what? 100, how many are giving? 2. Like that, they are also giving lifetime of the lamps and then histogram they are giving. Are you able to follow now? So between 300 to 400, how many? 14 lamps are observed. So internally, how it is represented? Between 300 to 400, some values are there. It lies within what? 300 to that I mentioned, covered and counted and written as what? 14. Between 400 to 500, how many values? 56. Like 500 to 600, like that, I'm going to write it. Are you able to follow? Next, below one also. Age of the people, number of people. 0 to 10 years, how many people are there? 10 to 20, how many people are there? So 0 to 10 means what? 0 included, 10 excluded. తెలుసు అనుకుంటది. Opening bracket, this one. You try to understand. 0 to 10. What is that 0? Included. 10 is what? Excluded. So you can write 11, you can write it, no problem. And 11 you can write here like this. 11 excluded or included? Excluded. That means it will take up to what? 10. It is your own knowledge. So it is your own requirement. So 0 to 10, 5 people are there. 10 to 20 years is 4 people are there. 20, 30 years, how many people are there? Three people are there. 40 to 30 to 40, 4 people are there. 40 to 50 years, 6 people are there. 50 to 62 people are available. Are you able to follow? Now, program for that kind of things. Now I mentioned it. And types of histograms, of course, I already mentioned it. And here one more histogram you see. What is this? Observe it now. One more way of writing. Two people from 140 to 145 centimeters. Five people from 145 to 150 people. 15 people from where 151 to 156. 31 people of what? 157 to 162. 46 people are 168. So this is comes under which type of diagram? Histogram. How do you write it? How do you write this? 140 interval is what? 145. What is the value now? 2. 145 to what? 150. How many? 4. 5 or 4? 5. Next is called 151 to what? 156. Like that. You mention it. 157 to rest. Like that, you can mention all the intervals and you can write it. And for that, we can write the histogram here. Are you following me? So, how do you go for it? Next, histograms would be grouping of numbers, and bar graphs would be grouping of which data? Categorical things like cats, dogs, not the ages of cats and dogs. Number of cats, number of dogs, number of monkeys, number of like that. That are called what? Categorical things. But histograms are what? Like number of ages in middle of certain interval. For that, I'll go for what? Number of cats, number of dogs, number of horses, that are called what? Categorical. Ages of cats, ages of horses, ages of like that, that is comes under histogram. A small, slight difference they are giving it. Number of boys, number of girls, number of teachers, like that. That is called what? Categorical. Ages of the people, ages of the boys, ages of the girls, ages of the teachers. That is called what? Histogram. Are you following? Number of skillful employees, number of unskilled employees, number of medium skilled people. That is called categorical. Skill levels is called what? Histogram. So I think you are going to understand the meaning of histogram representation. Are you following, students? Suppose in your native place, I want to find the voters, number of non-voters. That is called which data? Categorical data. I want to get the ages of the voters who are lying between 18 to 30, 31 to 50, 51 to 70, 70 to what? 100. That is called what? Histogram. Categorical data is called bar graph. Uh, Information about the categories is comes under histogram. That is what is trying to give you one small difference here. Grouping of numbers, bar graphs. Histograms would be grouping of numbers like ages and all, and bar graphs will be for what? Categorical things like. And this slight difference you try to remember. And most of the visualizations, people will say both of them are same, but they are going to be different. Number of laptops, number of desktops, number of palm tops, etc. are called a category. Number of laptops with battery capacity. Number of laptops with a lifetime of the battery. That is nothing but what? Histogram. So I think you are getting me. Coming to next I'm going to say implementations. Of course, I already said same thing is here also mentioning. Same thing here also mentioning. Now I want to go for one small example is also there. Bin capacity is available. Bin. What is the meaning of bin? Is a place where I can put the number of values which I identified in the particular interval. So I'm going to take up bins here. Online students, did you understand up to here? Now I'm going to enter into the bin size. It's a much interesting here. Online students are able to follow. So let us try to understand. So here also you'll get very good clarity because I mentioned it. What are all the things I want to tell you? Histogram is a graphical representation of distribution of data given by the user. Large samples of distribution is there. I'm categorizing based on the class intervals. 10, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like that. Its appearance is similar to what? Except it is what? Continuous. Bar graph means there the bars separation is shown, but here there is no such a separation is mentioning. Are you following me? Now, the towers of bars, towers in the sense you have seen already. This is called one tower. This is called one tower. This is called another tower. This is called another tower. This is also known as what? Bin we can call. How many bins are there here? Values, how many are there? Three. Here, this is called one more bin. How many values are there? Five. This is called one more bin. How many values are there? Like, suppose in an electoral list, if you take it, there are five people are contesting in the elections. There are five bins will be kept. Why five bins will be kept? Their votes will be put it into these bins. Finally, they will calculate or not. So bins I will use. The bin is nothing but something like that. So coming to the point back, the towers or bars of histogram are called bins. Now I'm giving one formula also. The height of each bin shows how many values from that data fall in that range. 0 to 0 to 35. How many values are falling? That is going to be showing the 3. That 3 values are kept under, the 3 values are kept under that bin. So bin is holding what? Bin is holding what? The height of each bin shows how many values from that data fall into that range. 3, 5, 2, like that. Come to next. Width of each bin. How the bin width will be decided? Of course, it is not necessary. If anybody asks, width of each bin is equal to maximum value of the data. In the observation, maximum value will be found or not? What is the maximum value in my example here? The example which I shown you in my class. What is the maximum value here? What is the maximum value? 90. Minus minimum value is how much? 10. Divided by number of values. How many number of values are there? How many values are there? 10. What is the answer now? 80 by 10. It is nothing but what? 8. 8 is the width. Width of each bin is equal to maximum value minus minimum value by total number of values. That is the width of the bin. That is the width of the bin. So that is what I am trying to say. Width of bin is maximum value of the data minus minimum value of the data by total number of bins. Total number of bins which are available. Next, the default value of number of bins to be created in histogram is what? 10. They are just giving this value. No need to worry about this entire bins. Next, go to the, however, we can change the size of the bins using the parameter called what? Bins, which is present into, I will use bins. I used so far what? X comma Y. It's the type I used it. Today we are using extra called what? Bins. And then present into that passing to hist kind of thing. Take the example now. Take the example import Matplotlib as PLT, and these are my number of observations. What is this now? PLT dot hist values. What are that? These values. How many bins? That means all these values I want to put it in how many bins? 7 bins. Then edge color is equal to yellow, color is equal to green, something I am going to show. How these bins are going to be allocated, I'm going to give you. How these values are distributed in that, I'm going to explain. Two methods are available. One is called what? Method number 1 I am explaining. What is this now? Bins is equal to 7. In 7 bins, how these values are distributed, I'm going to discuss here. Carefully try to follow. This I'll execute. Hold on. Method number 1, we can pass an integer in bins starting how many bins or towers to be created in the histogram, and the width of each bin is then changed accordingly. So how do you do that? Same data, same data. I took these values or some different values I took it, something like that. I took it, I execute everything. Come to this heights I am taking. Edge color is equal to bins is equal to 5. What is this now? PLT dot show. Here bins is equal to 5 means what? Number of bins to be created is what? 5. Number of bins to be created is called 5. Okay. Then after that, what are you doing? Setting bins to an integer creates bin equal to the size of the width. What is that now? As bin size changed, so the bin width would be changed accordingly. What is the bin width? Width of bin is equal to, what is the maximum value here? Come on. Number of maximum value in that. Maximum value in that is called what? 195. Minus what is the minimum value here? And how many bins you specified here? So that is nothing but what? 5. That is going to be called as what? Width of the bin. And earlier I took it as by 10 I took it. What is the default bin? 10. Default bin. Now number of values are also like that. So here I'm going to take up that example number 2. Then I will show this example. Carefully try to follow. This I will take it and see this example. So with the bins example, we are going to see. This is one thing. I will take it one more here. Histogram with bins. And by default, bin concept is there. And nothing to worry about this. But somewhere else that is an important. Example with bins in histogram. Histogram. So there I am trying to execute. These are my values. Bins is equal to 7, I say. And try to observe it, students here. How many bins are available here, first of all? So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is the meaning of that 7 you see? How many number of values are available? You try to take care. And this 7 is there. And how many values are available here? How it is distributed? 0 to 0 to some value is available. 0 to some value is available. And you are not sure about what is this value. And this value to this value is available. Again, from this to this is available one more bin. This is another bin with what? Unspecified bins are taken with the values. That means if you take an example, if you roughly take an example, if it is 70, 0 to 70, how many values are available here? 5. And from 75 to 70 to 80 or something like a 75. Between 75, 65 to 70, if you take it, there are 3 values are there. And from 85 to what again? From 85 to what again here? Again, some more values 5. And this is unclarified here. These kind of intervals are unclarified. I'm giving the very good clarity to you. You go on watching this. You go on watching it. Now, next go to another part. Another part you take it. This part you take it. Of course, this is only the one. Next, this part you try to see. This part you see. So here, I'm going to give you this area you see. Here also what is happening? There also 142 what? Not exactly 150, it is crossing. It is 160 again crossing. It is again 160, 170 crossing, 180, another crossing is there. Again, some edge color is maintaining, some continuous area is showing. Next, you'll get the clarity. Don't worry about it. Come to next. Example number 2. What is now? Import matplotlib like this. Here I'm going to say same thing. Edge color is equal to yellow or something. I mentioned it. What is happening here? Same. Maximum value is how much? 141. Minimum value is called what? 51 by 7. This is called your width. This is called your width. Let me execute that also. Let me execute that also. So there I am trying to run it. So you are going to get this data. Still it is going to, bins are not having proper sticks, proper X values. Coming to the next term. Method number 2. We can also pass, this is the most effective one. This is the most effective one. We can also pass sequence of int or float in the parameter bins, in which elements of the sequence are edges or boundaries of the bins. In this case, edges of the bins are edges of this histogram, not properly mentioning. Now here you see, I will execute directly so that you will get without any tension. Later I will start showing that. You go to this place and then see this. So you observe it. చూసుకోండి ఒకసారి. 0 to what exactly? And 2 to where exactly? 3 to what? 4 and then 4 to 5. This is method number 2. This earlier one is method number 1. No clarity in the bins ranges. Now come on to the point. Here, we can also pass sequence of int or float in the parameter bins, in which elements of sequence are edges or boundaries of the bins. In this method, bin width may vary for each bin. I'll explain it with the coding. Suppose sequence. What is this 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? How it is taken in my diagram? How it is taken in my diagram? 1 to 2, one bin. 2 to 3 is one more bin. And 3 to 4 is one more bin. And 4 to 5 is another bin. This is representing what? Sequence of bins. Between 1 to 2, one bin. Where 1 onwards included, 2 will be excluded. Here in detail I written. The first bin will be 1 included, 2 excluded. Including 1, excluding 2. The second bin will be, what is this now? Including 2, excluding 3. Including 2, excluding 3. What are all the values fall in that? We are going to. The bin will be 3 to 4. Next, 3 to 4. 3 included, 4 excluded. Next, last, both of them included. Both of them included. Because why 5 is not excluded here? After 5, no more data is present. So 4 and 5 is included. Hence, All these bins are half open. This is opening and closing, but the last bin is closed only. In for such cases, the width of bin is equal. Are you following that? Earlier one is what? Unequal. Unequal bins are there. If the difference between each element of the sequence is assigned to bin is not equal to the width of each bin, different, then the bin's width will be different in the sequence. Like this points indicates that this entire essence indicates that here you are having some range of values. What are not mentioning? What are not mentioning? Only bins are mentioning, and there is no kind of what? Proper width maintaining in the x-axis. This is called what? Not a proper visualization part here. Not a proper visualization part. Here also same thing. Pins are mentioning, but there is no proper visualization here. And here I am trying to say, in this case, and when the list of values are there, now you try to categorize. Start change, sorry. What is this 1, 2, 2? In detail, I am going to take it. What is this 1? 1. And next is what? 2. How many are there? Read out. Come on, read out. Assume that you did not understand anything. At least now start. What are the bins I said? 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4, 4, 2, 5. That is my intention. 1, 2, 2, 1 bin, 2, 2, 3, one more bin, 3, 2, 4, one more bin, 4, 2, 5, one more bin. In 1, 2, 2, what are the numbers are coming? I already said what is open and half open and full open. This is included. 2 is what? Excluded. How many values are there? 1. Next is half open means what? 1 only. Only 1. 1. This is a 1 and this is a 1 and this is a 1. These are the values are coming. How many? 4. 4 values will come. So one bin is created with what history? 4 history. Next is called what? 2 comma 3. Why 2 comma 3? Because I mentioned 2 comma 3. 3 is what? Excluded. What is the value there? Come on. 2, 2, that is 3, 4, and then next is called 5, and then 6. How many here? Next term. Come on. 3 comma 4. 3 is included. 3 is included. And next is what? 4 is excluded. Come on. 3 to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called 4. And next is called what? 4 comma 5. Both of them are what? Included. How many? How many? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then what? 9. Are you seeing this? And observe this. 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 4, 9. Observe it. 1, 2, 2. See that? 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, how many? 4. That's the meaning here. Next is called what? 2, 2, 3. How many? 6. See. 2, 2, 6. How many? 6. Next 3, 2, 4. How many? 3 to 4, how many? 4. You have seen it. And 4 to 5, how many? 9. Already 8 is there. 1 above. It is called what? 9. Are you understanding that? Here, the beginning onwards, if this is called a method number 2. Assigning the bins with a sequence is always recommended for you. Assigning the bins always recommended for you like this. Getting or not getting, students? Now, coming to the point of it, in this case, observe it. Unequal bin width, unequal bin width. Earlier, this is the data, or this is the data, this is the data. With what bins equal width, unequal width? You have seen 189 example. 189 example. This one, this one. What is happening? 140 to 150 not equal, correct? 150 to 160 is not exactly. It is a bin is exceeding. And 171 is bin is exceeding. 180 bin is exceeding. How do you make it equal and how do you make it accurate? Go for bin sequence. Number of bins not that much accurate. Mention the sequence of bins. అర్థమవుతుందా ఏమైనా? So go to the number of bins. How you can mention in this place? What are your values now? You mention the values. Here some categorical. You only prepare the intervals. What is that now? 0 to 144. And after that 144, some other interval you take it. Some other intervals you take it. That is what I mentioned in the last part. You observe it. This is the same thing. Here, this is the data. What is this now? Data. Bins is equal to what? What is the minimum value? And what is my next bin? So what is the meaning of this 140, 150? Write it. What is this now? 140, comma what? 150. Close or open up? Close. This is full open. This is close. 150 included or not included? Not included. Count it. 140 to 149. 140 to 149. 1, 2, 2. Next is called what? 1, 2. Next, 1, this is the one. 3, 4, 4. How many? 4. Next after that, see that next 150 open, included. 160 close. What is the data? 150 to 160. What is the data here? 154, 1. Next is called what? 159, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. This is the value. Next after that, what next? 160 comma what? 175. 175. How many now? 160 to 175. Here data 174, 1, 169, 2, 2, 160, 172 is also there now. Already 2 and next 3, 5 and 6. How many? 5 or 6? 5. 5. If careful in counting. Next I will go for what? 175 to what? 185. Open included or excluded? Excluded. 175 included, 185. Start. So that is, I think 189, 1, 185, 2, 185 no. Yes, 185 no. 189 also no. 1, 181, 182. How many here? 2. Next last is what? 185 to 200. 200 included or not included? Included. Last one compulsory included. What is the value? So 189, 1 and 2 and then what? 3 and then what? 4. This is how many? 5, 6, 6, 195. How many? 7. This is the data which is classified. This is called what? Bins representation. Sequence of bins representation. Method 2 is the most effective. Method 1 is not effective. That is what I want to bring it. Are you following me? So coming to the point back, this is bins in sequence representation is always recommended. This I will try to carry. This I will try to carry. So try to put it across. Here I am going to write it. So here I am going to write it. See carefully, students. 140 to 150. 140 to 150. 150 to 160. 160. How many 140 to 150? 4. 150 to 160, how many? 6. If you remember, 160 to what is again coming? 175. So here 160 to 175. And here also it is exceeding. First two things are coming. And here, of course, here what is coming? 140 to 150. How much is the difference? 10. Here, how much is the difference? 15. That's why it is in the sequence. If you want to mention 140 to 150, 150 to 160, 150. Okay, that you take care, leave it. I will modify it and I'll keep it. Take it as what? 150 to 160. Write it what? Come on. 170. 170 to what? 180. You take it as 180 and 180. Next is called what? 180 to 190 and 190 to what? 200. Try to take a equal in sequence. You need to mention this kind of data. Are you following me? This is called what? Equal interval is mentioning here. I think you are following this. This is called what? Bins representation now. So how many ways are there to represent my bins? One is by representing the directly bin value here. Now you observe it. Default value of the bin is called what? 10. And these observations, bins are taken. So can you adjust this number of bins here? 7 bins means what? 7 intervals I can mention it. Only bin specification is going to give you not properly visualized. That's why we go for what? Mentioning what here? Sequence. Now go to one small problem here. How do you represent this now? Tell me. What is your representation here? Come on. This is going to give you what? What is your answer? How do you represent? Stand up. Nee mundu. Yes. You're not listening. Correct? You're not listening. I'm observing from beginning onwards. You also. Hmm. Stand up. How do you write the code for this? Button bit. Just keep the button. Tell me. Start. How do you write the code for it? How do you write the code? Are you listening? Are you listening? Don't fold the hands. Normal. Hmm. Obedience not important. Subject kavali. You need subject. Tell me. How do you write the code for this? 300 to 400. This data. I want the information. How do you write it? Quickly. Come on. Already shown you that examples are not. Tell me. Students marks and marks interval. I already mentioned it. Tell me. How do you write it? Not listening. You tell me. How do you write this code? Ma? Huh? Plot.h. Hist. PLT.hist. PLT.hist. Good. Huh? Student. Student interval. Student marks. What are the student marks here? Lifetime in hours and the number of lamps. Hmm. Tell me. Lifetime number of lamps. How do you write it? What should I write here? What should I write in X place and what should I write in Y place? What should I write in X place and what should I write in Y place? How do you write it? Here I will write what? Lifetime. And next I will write what? Uh, Number of lamps. You will get answer. You will get answer. What is the lifetime here? What is the lifetime here? Huh? Lifetime is equal to what are the values are available? Hmm. Lifetime you are saying. That is called this one you are saying. What should be the lifetime values? What will be the number of lamps I'm saying? Number of lamps I'm saying. How do you represent this? This is not a normal question. It is one of the interview question. That's why I'm putting here. How do you write then? You're not speaking, just sitting, thinking somewhere. That is almost out of order. So only coming to the class. Sit down. So how do you, who will solve this example? How do you solve this example? Online students. Try to. Sit down. నువ్వైనా ఏం చేస్తావు నీ బ్రెయిన్ పని చేయండి చెప్పు యూ కాంట్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్ ఎల్స్ బ్రెయిన్ is not working. Number lifetime this is. How do you write it? Number of lamps. So what should I write it? If you are saying I will take up this problem. This question is asked by the people in interview. This is also one more question in the interview. So whatever the question you like it, you answer me. And here I took it marks, and this is the one. X ticks I said, Y labels I said, and clearly I mentioned here very perfectly. And based on this, you can easily answer this question. You can easily answer this question. And this is the best example for you. Already mentioned it. Here, how do you write it? This is the question they are giving it. So how you can mention it? How you can mention it? 0 to 10. How many people are there? Why? How do you represent that? Come on. So here, what you will write it? PLT dot hist of age, people age, PH, comma what? Huh? Number of people. What is the PH you will take? PH you will take as what? You will take it in the form of lista. You will take it in the form of what you will take it? Lista. Take it how? 0, comma, okay, 10, comma, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, next. Number of people is equal to 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 6, 2. This is what you want to say, correct? ఇదేనా మీరు చెప్పాలనుకుంది? ఓకే. ఐ విల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. ఐ విల్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. నాకు ఎందుకో డౌట్ వచ్చింది మీ మీద. సో go to the place. Here I'm going to take up. So here I'm going to write it. So got it. And this is my problem. H. So here I'm going to take up this H and a number of people. And this problem is mentioning here. And I want to write it. This is a one, okay, of course. But to keep these lines. So I want to, actually, I did not expect this. I expected a good answer from you. Any students in the online? So here, say this one. So you said what here? This is an answer you said. I'll take up that. So from Matplotlib, import pyplot as PLT. Yeah, so G Shaker. Now you are coming to line. G Shaker is coming to line. And you are going to write it PLT dot what? Show. What is coming you see? What is coming you see? What is coming? Nothing is coming. Then what is happening now, my dear students, intelligent students? ఎందుకా మీరు అసలు? So here, what is this meaning is number of people 5, number of people 4, number of people this one. This indicates what? This part I will just, of course, I did not expect this type of things from you. So NOP comma, so PH I am writing. So here you try to see. Here you try to see. So only coming to class not important. What is this entire thing indicates? Say about it because of my words and all, but your commitment and everything, if you observe it. What is this meaning? 0 to 10. How many are there? All of them are in 0 to 10 only. My interest is what here? 0 to 10. How many values are there? 5. That means the people's age, number of people age. This is not like this is taking in one list, this is taking in another list. It is not the meaning. You have to take the people's age between what? 0 to 10. How many values? That is the meaning. I took it something like this. How many values I'm taking? Like this, I took it 5, comma, comma. I took it like that. Next, I'm going to take it 10 to 10 to 20, how many people? So I'm going to take it. 11, 19, and then 18. And next is called what, some 15. What this is going to be called? Between 10 to 20, how many? Madhubabula, come on. 4. Between 20 to 30, how many? 3. 20 to 30. 21 and some 29. And next is called what? Some 27. How many? 3. 30 to 40, how many? 4. So I will write it what? 33 and then 38 and then 37 and then something like 35. Next I will go for taking what? 40 to 50, how many? 60. 40 to 50. So 42 and 49 and next is called 44 and next is called 45 and then next is called 47. How many values? 5. One more I will write it 42 or 41 I will write it. Next between 50 to 60, how many? 2. I'll say 55 and then 58. Are you following this? Now try to run this now. What is happening? You see, this is called histogram. Adi meaning. Number of pages, one number of people, one side of people is one side, not like that. This is the most important. Actually, they gave you like this only, but I represented in the shortcut format like this. This is a sampling of number of people. This is called people's ages. People's number of people's ages. Number of people's ages. Here I will write people's ages. People's ages. And people age interval. INT. People's ages. I wrote it. People's underscore ages. And people's interval. People age interval. So people people's ages interval I'm writing. This is the one I need to take it. So here I need to take it. Here I will write it, comma, people's ages underscore interval. I need to take something like this. So if I just run my code, this is what you are going to say. 0 to 10, see one bin, which is going to have how many? 6 values. And of course, if you reduce one value, almost I took it as how many? Almost I take it as what? 6 values. If I just reduce one value, if it is 5 means you take 5 only. If it is 5 means you take 5. Reduced or not? Next after that, what is that next? 10 to 20. How many? 4. 10 to 24. Are you following this 10 to 20? 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. Are you following? Edge color also you can mention. As you mentioned the edge color earlier. Edge color. This is only for decorative purpose you are mentioning it. Otherwise, it's not necessary to use it. Here you can mention it here. Comma, what you can say? Edge color is equal to yellow. You can mention the edge color is equal to yellow also. Rather than continuous, if you want to look at like exactly looking like a bar graph, if you want to look at continuous histogram, you can mention like this. It is a complete histogram. If you want any division among that, you can see this. Are you following this? So very important. These questions are very important. Like a layman, if you go to age of the people one side, number of people at one side. Actually, I put it in the shortcut to see your intelligence. Go to this place now. How do you go for this one? This one you go for it. This part you see. How do you take it? Actually, they gave what? Not like this. I put it in the shortcut. How you can understand? They gave you 14 values of which type? 300 to 14. They gave 414 values they gave. Actually, 14 values they gave. In this, so 301 and 322, like that, they gave you how many values? 14 values they gave. 14 values. Here also, how many? 400 to 500. So 56 values they give. And between 500 to 660 values they give. They gave a big number of values they give. I counted and I put it in the form of like that. How do you go for that kind of thing? So if at all you need, you can write one beautiful code also for this. How do you write it? Between 300 to 400. How many values I want? How do you write it? I want this value. 300 to what? 400. How do you write it? How many values? How do you take that values? If you remember my random module, are you remembering? Where I taught the random module to you? Where I taught the random module? If we go to NumPy, under the notes, there is a module called what? A random module in that. What is the function name available? Randint. You see randint. What is the randint? NumPy dot randint. Randint of what? Low to high. Starts from where? Low to high. How do you take these values? How do you take these values? Randint. What is this? Low, high, and then size. Size. Random numbers between low to high minus 1 with 1D, 2D, and then ND. You can mention what? 1D. And this, if you take it, this example, if you take it, how you can write here? In our example, how do you do this? And if such implementation is coming, how do you do it, students? How many values I want? How do you take it? Tell me. For I in range of, come on, 14. 14 means 0 to 13 will take or not? Now what I will do now? What I will do now? Our syntax is equal to, I will take it. NumPy dot random dot randint of what is my low value? 300. What is my high value? 400. It will take what? 300 to 400. This is a value I will take it. This is a value I will take it. Go to this place once and try to. This is all for your good exercise. So here I am going to take up. This you try to take up. What the value which is coming? Just a minute. Just a minute. And how to solve such type of things if anything comes? I'm just saying here. Try to say import. Import numpy as what? NP. I am writing here np dot random dot and print of what? X comma type of x comma type of what? X. And see that one random value came or not? Such a type of random values where I will keep it. Come on. I will take it as what? One LST is equal to like that. And what I will do? One for loop I will write it. Tell me. For I in range of 14. 14, I wrote it. In this place, I wrote like that. Now, how do you write it? LST dot what? Append of what? X. X. Try to execute and print of what? LST. How many values are coming? Student, sir. This is called a number of values which are lying within the 400 or not. Similarly, I will go for what? Observe. Observe this. What is again? 400 to 56. Again, I'll go on taking that many values I will club together. This is one thing. This values I want 56. What I do? Keep it aside. Again, I will take it what? This is one value. Like that, I will take it one more kind of data. What are these values I want? How many? 56. What is my value? 400 to 500. 400 to 500. Again, I will print what data here? LST. LST. These are all called this list of values here. And if such implementation is coming, how to tackle the situation? That is an important. If this 56 values are coming, how do you tackle these values? This is a situation. And it doesn't mean that you need to write it. You have to use the total libraries. And the next is called what? 500 to 600. Actually, in the problem, they gave that many values. I put it in shortcut to understand how do you understand this subject. Paste it. So here you go to one more thing. How many values next? 60 values I want. 60 values I want. This is what I'm writing 60. What is my data? Come on. 500 to 600. This is my data. And the print of LST here. Print of LST here. This is my data. How many values are coming? So go to this place. I'm just keeping for your knowledge purpose, this one. So done. Next is called this one, 86 values I want. 86 values I want. Same thing I will write. 86 values. 86 values of 600 to 700. Print this LST. These are the values I got it. These are the values I got it. This is my data. Next, I will go for 74. I'll go to the 74. 74. And there I am writing 700 to 800. 700 to 800. I will take it. And print of that. And see this. All the values are coming. Go to this place. Now I'm mentioning this entire data. And 62 values. 62 values I will go to it. 62. And here I will write 800 to what? 900. 900. So I'm going to execute this many 800 values are coming. So these values and these values. Last and final. What is that? 48. 48 values are here. And this is 900 to, come on, 1000. So execute this. These are the values which are coming. So overall picture is like this. This is my data. So what you will do then? This many values they are giving it. So I'm going to take up this problem here. Try to take up this entire thing. Already you understood. Leave that entire part. Here I'm going to write it. I'll take it. This is called the values I'm taking. Next I will take, what is the next stage? This data I'm going to take up. Go to this place. Here I'm writing, getting these values, having like that. You see this now. Values you see. This much of data is available here. This much of values are available. And from 402 to what? This many values again. This many values again. I'm going to keep it. Now say it like this. Try to keep it, enter keys. Like this. Next I'm going to take up another type of values I'm taking. This many values I'm taking. Here I'm going to paste it. So here 671 and like this, like this. How many values are available? Large samples of data is available. Those many samples which are available here, this is the given data. And last but one, I'm coming to end, I think so. And next is called this data, random data. So I'll go for it. So here, this is my data, which is coming. So much of data. Next is this last but one we are coming. Say end of this. Now here, so this is the data. Last part, 900 series is coming. There I'm going to write it. Observe it. 926. Like this is my data overall. This is an end of that list. See my list of values. What is this entire thing called? Hmm, lifetime. Lifetime. What is this is called? A list. List. LEN of what? LST. LEN of what is that? Hmm? Lifetime. Lifetime. LEN of that lifetime. See this now. How many? 100 values. What is my problem study? Come on. 400 neon lamps are there. That is subject. That is a subject. And to do all these things, your body will not cooperate. If that is given, you have to do like this. I can write happily one number also. What is that number? Directly I'll go to what? For I in range of 400. My random numbers I will take it. Out of that four, some of them are what? Some range. I'll write it into one simple for loop I will write. Okay. What is that next term? What is my ranges? What is my slots which are there? 300, 400, 500, and then what? 1000. Go to next term. Go to this next. Come on, guys. Start. Lifetime is mentioned or not? Okay. Next is what? Hmm? Number of lamps is equal to what? What lamps you want? 302. Come on, guys. 302, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. 1000, correct. Next, I want to go for what? Hist. PLT dot. Hist. Have you seen PLT dot hist already? Number of pages and then number of pages like that. Here also, mention PLT dot hist of. Come on, come on. Lifetime, lifetime, lifetime. PLT dot where is that? Oh, lifetime, comma what? Number of what? Lamps, lamps. So PLT dot what? Show. PLT dot show. Hmm? What is that? Histo. ఫంక్షన్ నేమ్ అంటారు దాన్ని. ఫంక్షన్ నేమ్ రాంగ్ స్పెల్లింగ్. హిస్ట్ హీట్ కాదు. హిస్ట్. స్పెల్ అవుట్. హిట్. స్టూడెంట్స్. So see that. Observe. 3 to 300 to 400. How many? 0 to 20 slot. This is almost called what? 14. Next to 400 to 500. It is called what? 56. 500 to 600. This is one more. This is called frequency distribution. 600 to 700. One more is there. Almost it is going. And 700 to 800. Something. 800 to 900. Here. 900 to what? 1000. Shown like this. అర్థమవుతుందా? Next. What is this now? Same thing. I'll take this entire thing. If you just take it. Writing code is very, very important. Here I will write it. If you want, what you can write it? Edge color is equal to, edge color is equal to something like green, right? Like this. And see what is happening. Some division is mentioning. Some division is mentioning. Exactly what is given in the problem. What is given in the problem? The same problem is visible there also. That given problem, whatever you have, that problem is mentioning here. Are you following this? Where is the problem here? This is a problem. So here, this is a problem. Are you following this? This problem. Original problem is I shown you already because later I posted all this data. Following? Original problem. This is the data I posted. So I will go forward, taking back. I'm going to undo my operations. Carefully try to follow. Undo my operations. I'll remove this data which is randomly generated. And this is my given problem. For this problem, this is the data to be taken. Which function I used it? Random function I used it. Go to that. I'll put it into this place. I'll put it into this place here. I'll take it. I think this place. This is a given problem. This place, I will keep my problem. Okay, this entire thing not necessary. Just only for your understanding purpose, I took it. This also I will remove. For understanding things, I took this data. There I will try to paste here, keeping the question like this. I think you understood how to solve it. What is the main important thing here? Random. What is the random data it says? Generation of calculation part. Done by what? Random module. And calculation is done here. So I think so. This is the one. Remove this data also. Remove this data also. And remove this part also. Directly solution I started with. Directly solution started. Are you following me? That's all. So directly solution is started. Code. Code for the above problem. Code for the above problem with a random number generation of values for all intervals. For all intervals. So I think this is what we are going to use it. Are you able to follow? So number of bins not necessary to bother about it. If you want to bother about it, you go for clubbing into what? 300 to 500, 500 to 700, 700 to 900, 900 to later you can leave it. Number of bins I'm not bothering about it. This itself is called what? Sequence of bins I'm mentioning directly. Okay. Are you able to follow? So are you understanding how we take this edge colors and all those things? So did you understand overall conclusion about histogram? So number of cars, 2020, 19 to 2000 cars, number of cars. 2021 cars, this many. 22 to 23 cars, how many? 23 to 24 cars, how many? You will go for what? Histogram. Are you following that? If at all you want to go for that categorical data, I'll go for what? Bar graph, I will take it. And as far as this is concerned, if we go for, you have seen the clear cut difference in my class. What is the difference? If you say only 14, 16 like that, you are not getting the answer. If you want to get the answer, you have to go for bar graph. Bar graph you need to do. For this categorical values are required, observations required, then only this will be coming. And you measured number of lamps also 400 we got it. 400 random samples you taken it and you categorized like this. You grouped like this. You maintain the history of 300 to 400 how many? 400 to 500 how many? You maintain the history of it. Understand? So you need not to count manually. If there are lakhs of values are given, if they're asking categorize the entire data into history, go for keeping like this. Understand? So this is about which type of diagram? So problems on histogram. Histogram. This is the question they asked many times in the big company called Data Quest. One company was there. This question was asked in the Data Quest. It is one of the popular company where they asked about this question. How do you represent the histogram for this data? They said in the bracket, use random module, they said. Random module in the sense 400 random values and 56 random values like this. Understood? This is about which type of plot? Hist plot it is. Hist plot. Next, one more plot I will introduce in the tomorrow class. That is next plot is pie plot or scatter plot I will introduce. Scatter plot. So two plots are there. Very soon our batch is getting completed. Scatter plot and then pie plot. These are the two plots are available. Those two plots very soon the class is getting completed. Following? So practice after going to home. Practice it. Concentrate. Concentrate. Okay. Right. Online students will stop my class and we'll go for tomorrow.